Hey guys, welcome back to U Sport Express. If you're just tuning in, I'm Yanoi Fevrier, and we've been having a great show so far. We've been speaking about school sports. We went over girls football in St. Lucia. We went over athletes abroad. We went over Malcolm X winning their first sports event at the Makewood Comprehensive Secondary School. Go Team Green. It has been an awesome show. So we're jumping right back into the show now. Nias with a bit of news from St. Lucian legend. We can call him a St. Lucian legend. Mr. 88 Special Darren Sammy.
Yes, like I was saying before we cut for a commercial break.
Yeah.
Sammy has been doing some excellent work all over the world. And I was following the IPL auction this morning, and it is just unfortunate that while the bidding was going on, that Sammy was not bid for in the IPL. So Sammy this year will not be participating in the IPL. Yes. And from all reports, from all feedback from that, it has been quite... Nobody can understand why Darren Sammy has not been picked by an IPL team this year. Because, Sammy, I love the game of cricket. And Sammy can do everything. Sammy is a decent bowler.
He is.
Very economical. Very hard-hitting batsman. And he's a great fielder. So, Sammy not being part of the IPL this year, it's still early. Somebody could get injured and he could get drafted in. But the initial auction, Darren Sammy was not part of the IPL auction. He was part of it, but he was not selected by a team.
But with that being said, he will be part of the Pakistan Super League, which is happening soon. He is a part of the Peshawar Zalmi team, over in Pakistan. So that's one place you could see him in action, and he expresses excitement, he's saying that every nation has its 20 over tournament, and you cannot ignore the fact that it is a format that is taking the world by storm. So we will see him in the PSL, but
unfortunately, as it stands right now, not in the Indian Premier League. And Sammy, of course, will be captaining the West Indies at the World 2020, which is happening this year.
So
in India.
And he'll be captaining.
And of course, I just love the team that the West Indies put out this year. I know there's been something about the stars like Sammy, Bravo not being part of the ODI team because while our local competition was going on here, the Nagico Super 50, they were actually in the Big Bash in Australia. So there were some concerns raised about their eligibility for representing the West Indies ODI team. But Chris Gayle, Kieron Pollard, Dwayne Bravo, Dwayne Smith, Darren Sammy, Jerome Taylor, all of them are back for the WT20, and this is I'm excited.
That's what I can see. I can tell you're
excited about that because Chris Gayle opening the batting for West Indies. Chris Gayle has been doing some very destructive work all over the world when it comes to 2020.
Yeah, he has been. Don't blush, baby. But it's definitely something to look forward to.
Definitely, and of course we all know about the Don't Blush, baby. Chris Gayle in Australia. Unfortunate the way it turned out.
I don't look at it as something negative. As a matter of fact, it didn't phase Gayle not one bit.
It didn't.
It didn't phase Gayle not one bit.
If you know Chris Gayle, he's the kind of person that does not really care about what other people perceive of him.
He doesn't. And all his teammates stood behind him.
They did.
All his fans stood behind him. So it's not something to be looked at negatively, honestly.
It was just over exaggerated by the media.
Definitely
in Australia.
Definitely, and that's something that I'd have to agree with, But all that aside, Chris Gayle, West Indies.
Look out for these guys in the World T20. And of course, on New Sports Express, we will be giving you the highlights. Well, probably not highlights, but updates.
Of course, you could definitely get the updates right here.
Right here on New Sports Express. So, Darren Sammy, no IPL, but the World T20, you will show what they've been missing.
I'm looking for another window.
And of course, we have CPL this year as well. So,
oh boy.
CPL,
the biggest party in cricket.
The biggest party in sport, Carnival Cricket.
I can't wait. I always have an awesome time at CPL.
Always.
I always have an awesome time at CPL.
Zooks win or lose, Team Zooks. We are going to be supporting Darren Sammy and the St. Lucia Zooks this summer.
Hopefully we have a win this time.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we can pull off a Malcolm X.
Malcolm X. Oh, I like that.
Hopefully we can pull off a Malcolm X. So now, yes, we have some sporting events coming up in the month of March 2016. We could just run through that quickly.
Yes, so the month of March, we have 3 main events taking place. Of course, the much anticipated, always anticipated, inter-secondary school sports meet.
It's like the pinnacle. It's like it's what all school athletes look forward to, representing their school on that level. School versus school. It's the atmosphere it's amazing.
So I know March is still a long way away,
Yep.
but what team would you be backing? What school would you be backing?
VFCSS, we the best.
You're the best. So you're not going to be asking me who I'm supporting?
Oh well, I wasn't done yet. Okay. Now, who will you be supporting?
CHSS, Choosel Secondary.
Okay. So I mean, you guys can do the social media thing. You can jump on Twitter, Facebook, and let us know who you guys will be supporting. All the Choosel Passy stand up, Vieux-Fort Passy stand up, and if your school was not mentioned here, you could make yourself be known on social media by just hashtagging your school for Intersect 2016.
Yes, most definitely. And a level below Intersect, we also have Inter-Primary in the month of March. And Inter-Primary is always very exciting. I went to Inter-Primary once, and the level of competition and the rivalry between the primary schools.
It's fun, honestly, and you'd find most of the energy coming from the parents, the older siblings, the cousins. They all come out to support. You have a student at primary school, who's doing track and field at that age. I mean, the whole family has to come out to support. So what you have is you have a stadium full of families, full of constituencies, whether it be because they do it by
District 7,
they do it by
District
district, right?
Mhm.
So it's action packed, and everybody wants their child to win, and the atmosphere is it can even rival the atmosphere of Intersect.
Yes, and another atmosphere I like now that you mention it is when you go to swimming meets.
Oh yes,
The atmosphere is just phenomenal, and that's something that you can actually compare to the inter-district.
definitely,
The
and
district
especially when you come down to races like the medleys. I believe in it, whether it be swimming, whether it be track and field. The medley is always one of the most exciting. Definitely always, because so much can happen. You can have somebody starting off in the lead, and then in the middle of the race you have another leader. By the end of the race you have another lead. So it's just action packed right through.
Yes, very exciting stuff. And Youth Sports Express, of course, the place to be for everything that is sports, everything that is exciting in sports among the youth in St. Lucia.
Of course, and I mean we're new. It's first show, but you will definitely be hearing a lot more from us. You will definitely be seeing a lot more of us. Like Naya said, look out for that Winners TV van. Whenever that van is in your vicinity, it's Youth Sport Express. You have a chance, you have an opportunity to be a part of the fun here at Winners TV on Youth Sports Express.
Of course. And the other meet that we have in March is the Carifta Games. The
Oh boy.
Carifta Games is when it comes to representing St. Lucia on a national level. Our athletes look forward to Carifta Games. Carifta Games, of course, in track and field and in swimming.
Yes.
So, Youth Sport Express will be giving you exclusive updates, highlights on the Carifta Games. So, stay tuned. That should be very exciting.
It should be very exciting. You get an opportunity for you to see the same athletes who you might see at Intersect. You could see them at Carifta Games, but it's a different atmosphere because now it's not against different schools in St. Lucia. It's against different islands.
And that is where a lot of our athletes get the chance to make the name for themselves.
Yes.
That is where they start.
That's what it is. It's basically a very big opportunity to go up against people from all of the Caribbean islands, all of the Caribbean countries, and pushing yourself to see how good you are, how good you really are. On that level, on that platform, a good performance can be something very important for you in your career as an athlete.
And everybody will be trying to go up against Jamaica and trying to impress against Jamaica.
I mean,
Jamaica's always been the powerhouse in Carifta.
Always. I mean, they can boast right now being the home island of the fastest man in the world. And you know what that can do. So every student athlete or every young person from Jamaica who's into track and field, they have that confidence to know, yes, you know what? We got this. So they have that extra motivation, that extra fight, that extra push. So it's now down to the other islands to find that
And say, you know what?
You know what? We're not letting them have all the fun for themselves.
We're having some fun ourselves.
That's
right.
Definitely.
So that's it for the month of March. So look out for these things right here on Youth Sport Express on Winners TV. We will be with you along the way, giving you updates. And we want you to join the conversation. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. It's your show. It's my show.
It's our show.
It's our show. So please do join us in the fun right here on your Sport Express.
Most definitely.
Now, Yanoy, before we close off our very first episode of You Sport Express, we were watching football just before we started recording the show, and there was this very awesome match between Leicester City and Manchester City at the Etihad.
What it was, basically, it was first place versus second place. And Leicester had the opportunity to go 6 points clear at the top of the Premier League. We're not talking about Man U, we're not talking about Chelsea, we're talking about Leicester City. You know where they were last season? You know where 2 seasons ago?
This time last season, Leicester was actually fighting against relegation rather. And Leicester City right now have a 6-point lead at the top of the Premier League. If you missed the match, Leicester won 3-1 thanks to goals by Robert Hoof, who scored twice.
Yes.
And the man himself, Riyad Mahrez.
It was an exciting game. You had great defensive display by it's not only goal scoring. You know, a lot of people talk about the forwards. You talk about Vardy, you talk about Mahrez. But Leicester City has a incredibly hard-working defense. You had Leicester City holding back Sergio Aguero. He did score 1 goal in the 87th minute.
Yes, he did.
Which made the score 3-1. But they had much more opportunities. If you were to watch the highlights, they stopped a lot of goals. They cut down the goal scoring tally of Manchester City by a great lot. Trust me.
Yes, and you will find that Robert Hoof, he did a job both ends of the pitch.
Yes.
So Robert Hoof is a central defender.
He is. And he did open the scoring.
Yes, he did. And in the 3rd minute at that. So Leicester City, what are your predictions for Leicester City for the rest of the Premier League?
Oh my, I want to say that they could win the Premier League. There's some betting agencies in the UK who stand to lose millions if Leicester City win the Premier League. You know.
So let's just wait and see.
We'll see how it goes.
Yes, folks. So we have come, unfortunately, to the end of our very first viewing of Youth Sport Express. Thank you so much for tuning in. It has been a fantastic show.
It was great discussion, fun. Hey, I can't wait for the next show.
I can't either. So please look out for Youth Sport Express, our next show. And remember, Yanoy, what did we say? When you see the Winners TV van, look out for Youth Sport Express.
Yeah, you need to grab that opportunity. When you see that van, make yourself available.
All right. So from your host, Nias.
And Yanoy.
See you later.
Bye.